A binomial theorem is a method of expanding an expression that has been raised to any finite power. That is what binomial theorem means. Sometimes binomial theorem can be also called a binomial series. Yeah, so binomial theorem and or binomial series are just but the same thing. So when you talk about a method, then we are simply talking about a formula. Yeah, so we are talking about a formula used to expand a binomial expression raised to any power. Let's take an example. If you have a case of a plus x power n, and expanding this one using the binomial series becomes a power n plus n times a power n minus 1 multiplied by x. Then you add n into n minus 1 divided by factorial 2, and then multiply by a power n minus 2, and then multiply by x power 2, and then add n into n minus 1, n minus 2, factorial 3, times a power n minus 3, multiply by x power 3, and so on up to n plus 1 terms. N plus 1 terms. So what does that mean? Let's look at an example here and try and understand what this formula means to us. Now, if you have a plus x power 1, now our value of n here is 1. So we are going to use the binomial series or the formula, and then the number of terms becomes, so number of terms is going to be n plus 1, which is 1 plus 1 equals 2. So when you expand this here, you are going to have only 2 terms. Yeah, so it means from our formula you shall have a plus x power 1 equals, you shall have a power n plus n minus 1 times x. So these are the only 2 terms, from which if you substitute for n, you shall have a power 1 and then plus n is 1 multiplied by a power n minus 1, that is 1 minus 1, and then multiply by x, and that gives us a plus x, because a power 0, because 1 minus 1 is 0, so a power 0 is 1 times 1 is still 0, so we shall have a plus x. If you have a plus x power 2, the number of terms, our n first of all is 2, and number of terms equals n plus 1 terms, which is 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we shall have 3 terms. So that expanding a plus x power 2, that equals, you have a power n plus n times a into n minus 1 times x, and then plus n into n minus 1 over factorial 2 times a into n minus 2 times x squared. So those are how many terms? 1, 2, 3 terms. And substituting for value of n, we shall have a squared because n is equals to 2. So that one is plus n is 2 multiplied by a into a power, a power 2 minus 1 times x plus n is 2 into 2 minus 1 over 2 factorial or factorial 2 multiplied by n, which is 2 minus 2 times x squared, from which if you simplify we shall get a squared plus this one is 2ax, yeah, because 2 minus 1 is 1 and a power 1 is a, multiplied by 2 and then by x you get 2ax, and then you add 2, you have 2 into 1 because 2 minus 1 is 1, divided by factorial 2 multiplied by a power 0 times x squared. So this one is just the same as 2 divided by 2. 2 times 1 divided by factorial 2 is 1. A power 0 is 1. So the final answer becomes a squared plus 2ax plus x squared. Okay, how about if you have a plus x power 3, our n is 3, and number of terms equals n plus 1, which is 3 plus 1 equals 4 terms. And from our binomial theorem, we have expanding a plus x power 3 equals a power n plus n into a n minus 1 times x. You add n into n minus 1 over factorial 2 a power n minus 2 times x squared, and then add n into n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial 3 a power n minus 3 x power 3. So those are how many times? 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. From which if you substitute for the value of n, you shall have a power 3. You add n, which is 3 multiplied by a power 3 minus 1 multiplied by x. You add n, which is 3 into 3 minus 1 over factorial 2 a power 3 minus 2 times x squared plus 3 into 3 minus 1 3 minus 2 over factorial 3 a into 3 minus 3 times x power 3. Simplify that, you get a power 3, you add to 3 times a power 2, because 3 minus 1 is 2, so you shall have 3a power 2x, and then you add 3 into 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, and then 6 divided by factorial 2, you get 3, and then a is raised to power 3 minus 2, which is 1, and then multiply by x squared, so that gives you 3ax squared. And then you add, we have 3 minus 1, so we have 3 here times 3 minus 1, which is 2, and then times 3 minus 2, which is 1. So 3 times 2 is 6, times 1 is still, that one is still 6, and then 6 divided by factorial 3 is the same as 1. Yeah, factorial 3 is the same as 3 by 2 by 1. Yeah, so that is just the same as 6 divided by 6, which gives you 1. Now a is raised to power 0 because 3 minus 3 is 0, so a power 0 is also 1. Now that one multiplied by x power 3. So that is that. That's all on the binomial theorem, how you can apply binomial theorem to expand a binomial expression to any power. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.